has consistently and brutally suppressed peaceful protests through various means. The deployment of military and police forces to violently disperse gatherings has become a common sight in Kampala and other major cities. Tear gas, rubber bullets, and sometimes live ammunition are used against unarmed protesters, resulting in injuries and, in some tragic cases, deaths. Arbitrary arrests and detentions of protesters have become routine, with many individuals swept up in mass arrests during demonstrations. These detainees often face unclear charges and are denied access to legal representation. More disturbingly, there have been increasing reports of abductions of political activists and opposition supporters. These individuals are often taken by unmarked vehicles and held in undisclosed locations, a practice that has spread fear among civil society and opposition groups. Currently, hundreds of young Ugandans languish in jail, many without formal charges or trials. Their crimes often amount to nothing more than expressing dissent against unemployment, human rights violations, misrule, or supporting opposition figures like Bobi Wine. The conditions in these detention facilities are often deplorable, with overcrowding, inadequate food and medical care, and reports of torture and mistreatment. The rise of Bobi Wine as a formidable opposition leader has led to increased targeting of his supporters. The charismatic musician-turned-politician has galvanized Uganda's youth with his vision for genuine social, economic, and political change. His message of empowerment and his critique of the entrenched political elite have resonated deeply with a generation frustrated by limited opportunities and political stagnation. However, this popularity has come at a great cost. Many of Bobi Wine's followers have faced threats, abductions, and imprisonment. His rallies and concerts have been banned or violently dispersed, and he himself has been arrested multiple times, often on spurious charges. The government's heavy-handed response to Wine's political activities has only served to heighten his profile and deepen the resolve of his supporters. Despite growing domestic and international criticism, the Museveni government has largely turned a deaf ear to calls for reform. Instead, it has doubled down on repressive tactics, further eroding democratic norms and institutions in Uganda. The judiciary's independence has been questioned, with judges perceived as favorable to the regime being appointed to key positions. The Electoral Commission's impartiality has also been called into doubt, with opposition parties alleging widespread irregularities and rigging in favor of Museveni's National Resistance Movement, NRM party. The media landscape in Uganda has also suffered under Museveni's rule. Journalists critical of the government face harassment, arrest, and sometimes